Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well. You're amazing, amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. This is the first look of the new place. The first look. Check this out. How cool is that? How cool is that? A doorstop, I think. But anyway, we'll be in the process of moving. We got the keys. I don't even know. Thursday, Friday. I don't even know what day it is today, so I'm not even going to attempt to guess. But over the next few weeks, we'll be moving in, and then this will be home. So keep your eyes peeled. Anyway, in this video, what we're talking about, well, of course, you know what we're talking about. And look, I'm not going to go over the entire doc in this video. I am going to go live tomorrow night. So we'll go over it properly then. But this was just really my takeaway from it. And we're going to read the conclusion from the Sahara doc. There's so much information coming out at the moment, so much, and we are going to make our way over the next few days. Even if I have to go live every day, we will do that, but that will be from the other place because we're still in there, because there's no internet or anything here at the minute. So let's just get into what is actually happening here. So what's happening is that the prosecution are lying. And what does make me laugh is, with respect of the Idaho 4 case, there's certain people who, whenever there's a little thing that comes out that kind of they feel bolsters the argument about Bryan Kohberger, they're on it all the time, and they're shooting out messages. What, check this out, check this, don't look good, this don't look good. But I've noticed a pattern of behaviour, and that is that when the prosecution have done something that they absolutely shouldn't, and it looks like this case is not being handled in the way that it should, we're going to call them the guilters. They just vanish. They disappear and don't say anything. They've got no argument, or they fail to interpret or refuse to accept what is being said. Why is that? Why is that? Why would people who should 100% believe in fairness and the system operating in a proper manner, why do they fail to acknowledge when things are going wrong just because those things go against what they want to happen? Because that's how this looks. It looks like people want Bryan Kohberger to be guilty just so they can sit there and say,
oh yeah, well, I was right all along. All of these fucking idiots thinking that he was innocent.
Do you know what I mean? Get over yourself. Get over yourself. I saw a comment yesterday saying, but Harsh, you're doing the same thing from the opposite side, the other side of the coin. No, I'm not. I'm pointing out anything. I have consistently said that I am well aware that Bryan Kohberger could have done this crime. But there are elements of this case that have not been actioned correctly, have not been done correctly. There have been things that have been done by the prosecution specifically to try to manipulate the evidence and the way people perceives that evidence. And it is still happening. But this was where Sahara finally comes out of the gates swinging. Remember, he was last in court a few months back, and he stated his pay. And this is a guy who, by his own admission, said, look, I'm not here to say Bryan Kohberger is innocent or guilty. I'm here in a professional capacity to say that what you're saying, you can't say with the data missing that you need in order to state what you're saying. Does that make sense? I'm trying to keep it as easy as possible, but probably making it over complex. The fact of the matter is, you're saying that, but you haven't got the data to back it up. So at this stage, it's just speculation. Get the data, come back, because without that data, you're speculating, and with it, that could prove that you're wrong, and it could in fact be exculpatory. That's what he said. Well, now he's come out again, like I say, he's come out swinging, and he's basically calling everybody out, and it needs to be said. So we're going to go through the conclusion, because I don't want to read you through the entire doc until tomorrow. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and join me tomorrow night. But so his conclusion, right, it is my expert opinion in reviewing all the evidence that has been disclosed by the state that AT&T timing advance data was available on the defendant's phone in 2022. Next, there is overwhelming evidence showing the state obtaining and using AT&T timing advance data in the course of this investigation in 2022 on over 3,800 AT&T mobile devices other than the defendants. Next, there is no doubt the author of this current motion, Prosecutor Arsley Jennings, knew or should have known AT&T timing advance data did exist in 2022. She was directly involved in the legal process obtaining it and was aware of work product created from it to further the investigation. The current motion is a deliberate misrepresentation to the court to further conceal false statements used to obtain probable cause against the defendant and conceal exculpatory evidence from discovery. I am prepared to provide witness testimony and relevant exhibits that support all my opinions contained in this affidavit. It is my belief this evidence is beyond clear and convincing and will be supported by any competent expert in this field who reviews all the data. This is not a battle of experts. The evidence supporting the opinions in this affidavit is overwhelming. In my nearly 30 years of working with and for prosecutors all over the United States, I have never witnessed such a deliberate attempt by prosecutors to mislead the court on evidence in such plain sight. Anyone making such a claim would have to believe the court is incapable of reviewing physical evidence in possession of the state and defense. It rises to a level beyond a simple miscommunication or oversight and is clear and intentional misrepresentation in the hopes to conceal a much larger issue. I respectfully request the court give this affidavit the due attention it deserves and explore these issues further. Can that be any clearer? There are prosecutors around this case that are hiding evidence. They are hiding evidence that could be exculpatory. If you go way back when you had Bethany Funk potentially having exculpatory evidence, and then the wheels in motion were set in place to try and block the defence sort of speaking to Bethany Funk. Now, we don't know what that was. We only know that a private investigator had stated that she had information that was pertinent to Bryan Kohberger and it was exculpatory, do you know what I mean? Which means that she held information that could prove that he is innocent of this crime, but it was blocked. A lot has happened since then and has kind of watered down the potency of that claim, but it's about the actions around it and the fact that you then had a grand jury indictment where a lot of the people involved in that had said there just isn't enough evidence. If you believe what Jay Logston said, which I do at this stage, believe that people likely did say there isn't enough here, but look at the low bar in getting an indictment that way, and they got an indictment that way. But this entire case has been built upon things that have subsequently, there's been a shift. So the stalking situation at the beginning, that no longer exists. No longer exists. He wasn't stalking him. He had frequented this area, and the prosecution knew why he'd gone to this area these times. So you remove that. So that's not there anymore. And what is there? What actually is there? But every single piece of information that comes out, there's been like a snark to it. Like, again, the moon and stars crap that's been pushed by media. You know, he was wearing gloves and sorting out trash in the neighbours' bit. Well, you had the search warrant information. You had what they found at the property. So we know there was nothing there. You know, we've now had the Amazon stuff come out, but again, cherry picking the information. A ski mask that was perhaps bought on a joint account, but again, they're being very specific to what they release and how they do it and when they do it. And yet you've got people around this fucking crime who failed to contact 911 in 8 hours. They were clearly awake. They were clearly communicating to multiple people, send them photographs, uploading fucking images, or speaking to parents, and then all of a sudden a 911 call happens, and it's made to sound like, oh, that's the first they fucking knew that anything had happened. I ain't buying it. And look, you've then got this information here, what Cy Ray had spoken about, which I said, he had turned around and said, where's the information? They'd come out, the prosecution, Arsley Jennings comes out and says, it don't exist. It don't exist. What gives her the right to stand in court and make such a bold statement that is a flat out fucking lie and get away with it? In what world can anybody agree that that is right? Whatever side of the argument you're on. But I'm sure if you're a guilter, you will not give a flying fuck. I won't hear about it. But there is going to be some changes to the way that we deal with things and some changes around this channel. I'm not messing about anymore. Let me know down below what you think about it all. And I will catch you all in the next one. Mwah.